Okay, so the whole point of this live stream right now today is to basically talk about the shooting that happened. It was insane. And here in Dickinson, sorry, I had to take the rotate off. I'm probably just gonna rotate it back anyway, but oh well. So Dickinson, Texas, and Santa Fe, Texas are like this. And I was on my way to a meeting. And actually, no, early this morning, my sister-in-law called me. She said, "What school do your kids go to?" And I said, "They go to Dickinson High." And she's like, "Okay, good." Because Santa Fe just got shot up. And Santa Fe High School is down the street from my house. Not over exaggerating. So right behind my house is 517. And right down, like 517 turns into Highway 6. And there's Santa Fe High School. And I was just like, shut up. That is too close to home. That is way too close to home. It was way too close to home for me because they were like literally the road behind the road down from behind us. And it was like, what's going on? Who did that shooting? And of course you heard everything from the police officers and from people that, you know, were running from the high school and everything. And then in the afternoon, I had to go for a little meeting. And it was at the bank right past the high school. And they were shutting down the road. And there were helicopters everywhere. Like, when I say everywhere, I mean there was 2 helicopters. And they were just doing rotation. There was police literally everywhere. Like, they had that place on shutdown. They had, now I didn't see any of it, obviously, because I don't see. But my nephew, he saw like the whole drama. And he's like, "Auntie, there's like trucks out here. Oh, Auntie, there's police cars over here." And then after my meeting, we went to go home. The traffic was still really terrible because for some reason, for some disgusting reason, and I can't even tell you what the disgusting reason is, after all the children had been evacuated from the school and, you know, all the parents came to pick up their kids and buses came to take the kids home, there was still disgusting people who were stopping by Santa Fe High School and just to take pictures of the high school for their social media and say, "This is the high school that got shut up." You're nasty. That's all there is to it. 10 people are dead and you want to freaking post on social media and you want to stop traffic just so you can take a picture of a high school where people died? Y'all are sick. My kids go to Dickinson High, which is the opposite direction of Santa Fe. But Dickinson High was also shut down. It was also put down on lockdown because they were so scared. And it was a child. It was another child who started the rumor that somebody from Santa Fe High knew somebody at Dickinson High, which obvious because our towns are so close. But they said that that person was going to come and shoot up Dickinson High too. That was false. And that child absolutely needs to be like put on lockdown for that. You don't say stuff like that if you don't know stuff like that. And so they put an entire high school on lockdown because of something that, you know, one messed up kid said because they were scared or because they just wanted to be cool and be in the limelight or they wanted to get noticed by somebody and have somebody interview them. It's not cute. These kids nowadays, they don't get it. Even at Santa Fe High, they interviewed a couple of kids on, "Oh, did you know the kid?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, we knew that kid." Like, "Oh, and they were like this and they were like that." No, they didn't know that kid. And that's not something that they told you after the interview, is that kid straight up lied. They knew of the child. And it wasn't even a child, it's a freaking grown adult. It was an 18-year-old and they knew better. Yes. So, and then the one child that came forward and was like, "Oh yeah, they were so withdrawn and like they were like this and they were like that. You never talked to them." And it came out, the truth did come out. The truth did come out. And do you know how it came out? Because the other students started talking about the student who came forward and said that they were friends with that student, and or they knew that student. These other kids came forward and were like, nah, they didn't. They just wanted to be on TV. Sick, sick, sick. Kids nowadays will do anything for the limelight. In fact, adults nowadays will do anything for that limelight. And what happened is a little too close to my house. Let me show you the outside of my house. That's my backyard. My neighbors are back there. Behind back there is other streets. And if you take the other street, like I said, you get yourself to 517. 517, you're going to turn up into Highway 6. Highway 6, there's the high school. It is so close. It is less than 7 minutes away from my house. Less than. And to have something like that happen so close is terrifying. It is not something that you do like when you're in that situation, because these kids were in that situation. This kid shot their classmates, and the first thing that they think of when they see reporters is, oh my gosh, let me talk to that reporter right quick. Yeah, oh, my life is in danger, but let me see you right quick. Let me talk to you. That's not cute. Enough of that mess. When something happens, we need to teach our kids, like, you don't look for the first person who's going to validate you. You're going to look for the first place to hide. You're going to look for your parents. You're going to look for a way to stay out of the news, so your name doesn't get mixed up in the rap. Because that child that said, like, oh, I knew that boy. Oh my goodness, I just knew. No, you didn't. You didn't. Because they say stupid stuff like, well, I wanted to say something. And then you hear the parents later say, my child is so independent, and my child, like, says this and this and that, and they would have said something. Obviously not, because they didn't say something. The child did not know anything, and let's make that public right quick. I am not trying to call out a little kid. Oh, what? But I am. I am trying to call out a little kid, because they did not know that student. They knew of that student. It's just like me and you. You guys know of me, but you don't live in my house. We don't hang out together. We don't go shopping together. We don't get our nails done together. So you do not know me. You know of me. And that's the problem that was happening over here at Santa Fe High, is that the students knew of the other student, but they did not know the other student. They can only say what they saw, not what they really knew. And that's what's so disgusting about it. And like I said, when I was on my way over to my appointment, and all these cars are freaking pulling over on the side of the street just to be over near the high school. We had cars that had, my nephew said that a truck made a U-turn in the middle of the road, ended up in a ditch, had to get itself out of the ditch just to head towards the high school. What kind of stupidity is this? For serious, what kind of stupidity is this? Oh, hey, there was a shooting over at that high school. Let me make a U-turn real quick, because I might need a picture of this mess. No, nobody needs to take a picture of nobody's mess. When there's a shooting, stay away from it. Don't be dumb. Don't be taking no pictures, trying to like, oh, I'm going to get this on my Facebook just so I can make like an insightful comment. Because all the parents that were making comments over on Facebook and everything, most of them were parents who were going through the situation. And if you notice, their comments are a lot different from the comments of the people who were commenting on the situation. Most of the comments for the people who were commenting on the situation were mostly just like, oh, I feel so bad. Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. You know, you have your empathy, have your sympathy. That's cool. But don't expect anybody to feel bad for you, because it's not your kids. Somebody's kids got shot. You guys, 8 people died originally. And then right after that, when they got into the hospital and whatever, 2 more people died. That's 10 total. That is too many dead kids at a school on the other side over there. This isn't something that's far away in another state. This isn't something that I'm just like, oh, you know, I feel so bad for, you know, whatever, kids in whatever state. This is my state. This is literally 2 streets, like 2 long streets away from me. I'm not saying it's like right behind my house, I can walk there. But you know what I'm saying? It's like a 5 to 7 minute drive to get to that school. And guess what? The fact that my kid's school had to be put down on lockdown because some other kid decided that they wanted to say something swift because they wanted to get their little P's and Q's in. And so another school got sent on lockdown because of that. When is this going to stop, you guys? For serious. When are we going to finally grow up and realize that guns don't belong with kids? And I know all you parents out there that says, well, I teach my kids proper gun safety. How about you don't teach your kids how to use a gun at all? How about you don't have a gun around them if they're young? How about if you have a shotgun, hide your shotgun shells? How about that one? How about if you have a pistol? Because I do believe that every family should have a gun for protection. I am a firm believer of that. However, you need to be hiding your bullets so your kids don't get them. Because obviously this kid, he got access to it a little too easy. And I understand, he wasn't even a kid. He was an adult. And he should be tried as an adult. And this and this and that. And I'm not going to even get into that. I'm just upset about the whole shooting. I'm just upset about the whole thing that my son, who's at the elementary school that's down the street from the high school, his school got put on lockdown too. Now these kids are going to be too scared to go to school. Now people are going to start saying, oh, it's the educational system. It is not the educational system. It's the parent system. Because parents can't control their own necessities. Necessities like their guns. Because here in Texas, a gun is like a necessity. Here in Texas, your gun is like, for some people, not all Texans. I love you, Texas. But for most people over here in Texas, your gun is like your best friend. Your gun is like, I don't even know why I turned this thing. Your gun is like your BFF. Your gun is like, oh, I need my gun just like I need my phone. And it shouldn't be that way. Because now we have 3 schools of kids that are terrified. Number 1, the Santa Fe kids. And I will attest, there was reporter helicopters around here. There was life flight helicopters around here. There was police cars. There was ambulances. There was a hot mess of everything. Because what happened was literally a tragedy. Not just saying it on social media like, oh my gosh, it was a tragedy. No, it was for serious a tragedy. And the fact that so many people wanted to get in the limelight of that tragedy made it even worse. The fact that so many people were blocking traffic, where I heard that it was difficult for some rescuers to get over there because people had to be stopping. Because the minute they see the Channel 2 news van, they're like, oh, where are they going? Oh my goodness, this is Dickinson. Oh, they're going to Santa Fe? Oh, what happened to Santa Fe? Little old Santa Fe. Oh, what happened over there? Let me follow them. And then they want to get involved. It's stupidity, really. But I'm going on a little rant here. And I'm just letting you guys know. Yes, I'm calling out the kid that said, the original kid that said they knew them, and that the person was withdrawn and they were antisocial. They really didn't know them. And the other kids who stepped forward and said, yeah, that kid's full of it, because they didn't know him either. Maybe the kid was antisocial and withdrawn, but saying that you know somebody and saying that you know why they did it, that's a whole other pot of beans. And the parents should not be backing their kids up when they say, oh, honey, tell them what you know, when they're not even sure what their kids know, because they probably don't even know that their kid doesn't know that kid. This is what happens when we don't pay attention to our kids, when we don't pay attention to what's going on. A friend of mine sent a post on Facebook recently, well, not recently, just today, that said all these problems could have been stopped if parents just get to know their kids ahead of time. Your kid has mental problems, that's okay, get them help. If I can do it, other parents can do it too. Okay? Get to know your kid. If your kid feels unloved, figure out why. If your kid is anti-Semitic, because let's just go out there and say it. Let's go out there and say it. Santa Fe is known for anti-Semiticism. Is that even a word? It's a word now. Bam. But Santa Fe is known for racism. If that kid had a problem with a race or being around other kids, I don't even know. And I'm not even going to speculate, because that's not my business. That's not what this is about. All I know is that what happened was a tragedy. What happened afterwards with the people who just had to stop for a picture was disgusting. And what's still going on right now with everybody like who got their picture in and they put their little post up. There's a post girl. I was in front of Santa Fe High School and there's like kids and everything. Oh, such a tragedy. Don't post at all. It's not your tragedy to be posting on. It's the parents who are involved. You be posting pictures of, oh, I'm in front of this school, click, click. Oh girl, do you see me? Do you see me? Or even the guys are in front of Santa Fe High, RIP Santa Fe students. What the heck, man? That's not cute. That's social media at its worst. At its very worst. You don't do stuff like that. You don't do stuff like that. You respect those who have passed away and you keep moving on in your little car. And that's what you do. Have I said enough? Probably. But I just wanted to rant about that because it was insane. Like I said, right down the street from my son's school. And his school was on lockdown. He wasn't scared or nothing. It wasn't like my son was scared. My son was actually curious, like, why? Why do we have to go on lockdown? What did we do? But I can only imagine how the parents felt. Because I know if I had to ever get that call saying pick up your kid because there was a shooting at the school, honey, watch me run. My little busted legs and my cane up in front of me, just caning away, trying to get to that school. I will do whatever it takes to get to my kids. And I promise you this. If I find a heifer or a troll that be in front of the school going like this, RIP Santa Fe, or OMG, those poor students, click, for clickbait, for whatever, they about to get a beat down. Because that's not cute. You don't do that when somebody goes through stuff like that. Yep, that's all I wanted to say. This is my little vlog for now. Later on, I'll be vlogging something later that's actually much more positive. But for right now, I just want to say my prayers for Santa Fe.
Always hiding.
Oh, that's my son. He was in the shower, so he doesn't know what we were talking about.
I know clearly you're talking about.
But
the school shooting.
Yeah, and even he knows about the school shooting, huh, bud?
Yeah, I was there.
Get your clothes ready to go to your aunt's house.
Very random.
So, yeah, you guys. But that was it. That was literally everything I wanted to say. And later on, I'll be on later. For those of you who comment on this video, go ahead and get your comments on. Because I am firm in my foundation. I am firm in the belief that I don't care if you own a gun, have a gun, see a gun, whatever a gun, you don't give it to your kids so they can hold it and test it out.
Play with it.
Yeah, you never let your kid play with a gun. I don't care if you're in the room. I don't care if you're a marksman. I don't care, like most parents say, like, I'm ex-military. Hello. I don't care you ex-military, you still a parent. Military and parenting are two separate things. Back it on up. So, yeah. So I'm against children with guns. Absolutely.
No.
And this one, it wasn't even a child. Let's think about that one right quick. This was not even a child. But children died. And I am so extremely grateful it wasn't my kids. My son's school was just down the street from there. And I am so grateful that nothing like that has happened at his school or at Dickinson High School. I wouldn't be able to function without my kids. For serious. And I think that's what all the trollers and the social media getters and the news reporters need to understand. That these are somebody's kids. And you can't put a media price, literally, on their lives. It's just sad. Huh, Manoa?
What?
Yeah, he's over there with the dog. They're having a moment. I do what I do to protect mine. I hope you guys do what you do to protect yours. I look forward to seeing your comments, and I look forward to commenting on them. If you don't agree with me, you don't agree with me. I am firm in my foundations of belief. And that's okay. And you can be firm in yours too. Go ahead and leave comments below if you have them. Please send money to, I'm pretty sure there's a fund for that's about to be established for the parents of the Santa Fe shootings. If you happen to see that, I haven't heard about it yet, but I know they'll do it. I know the school will do it because they are good like that. If you happen to see it, please donate to the fund to help the parents of that lost their children today. I absolutely will, and I'm going to encourage my kids to as well. I'm also going to be going, if you have a chapter near you, Parents Against Violence. They used to be called PAVs, Parents Against Violence, back in New York. I don't know what they're called here in Texas, so I'm going to have to get on that, and I'm going to have to see to it that I'm involved with that, because this is way too close to my personal home. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.